What's up, y'all? Jamixdowns here with intessionmusictech. Thanks for joining me on this tutorial. And today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite delay tricks. And I just like to call it pocket delays. And this is actually a trick that I picked up from one of my first mentors years and years ago. But I've been using it ever since. It's just a really effective trick. It can be used in any DAW. And it's really helped me in my mixes over the years, and I want to share it with you guys. So let's get into the session and check it out. So the name of the song that we're working on today is called Oh Ye, and the artist name is Naya Spark. Very talented Nigerian artist. We've done a lot of projects together, and this is actually one of my favorite projects, but it's just a great example of how to show you guys this pocket delay trick. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to play you the verse so you see what we have to work with. Of course, there's not going to be any delays. It's just going to be the straight vocal. So let's hear the verse.
I fit to jump into fire. For you say me I no tire. I fit to come into sim fire. Get men job watch you fire. I fit to jump into fire. For you say me I no tire. I fit to come into sim fire. Get men job watch you fire. Baby, baby, would you hold my waist and tickle Martin to make me scream away? Make me scream away. Oh baby,
okay, so the verse sounds really good, and what we want to do is just place delays in the pockets in between her phrasing. And this is something that a lot of you, I'm sure, want to do but struggle to figure out a way to do it effectively. So for example, if I were to just put a delay on this vocal, this is how it would sound. So of course that doesn't really sound all that good, and what we want to do is just place those delays in the pockets to make it sound like this. So I'm going to mute that, and then I've already done this here, so I'm going to unmute this track, and this is how we want it to sound. This is the sound that we're after. So this is the sound that we're after, and I'm going to show you how we do that. There's actually a couple ways to do it, but the first way that I'm going to show you, it takes a little bit of time, but I feel like you can dial it in a little bit better doing it this way. So the first thing we want to do is duplicate the lead track that we have. Actually, I am going to duplicate this here. Oh. Okay, and then what we want to do is just get rid of everything except the phrase that we want delayed. So for example, so I just want the tufoy, that's what I want delayed, and that's what I'm going to cut out. And we're going to do this throughout the whole verse. So for example, I would just take that. And then again, we do it here and take that out. And we would just do that for every pocket that we want to delay in. And as you can see down here, I've actually already done this. So what I'm going to do is just delete this track. I just want to show you an example of how you would have to go about doing it. So again, this is something that does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. And I'll show you why it's worth it in a second. So once we've duplicated the track, we want to put a delay directly on the track. And for this track, we have a quarter note. The key to this technique or trick working effectively and properly is that you want to make sure that your mix is 100% wet, because this will only give us the delay of the duplicated track. It's not going to actually play the audio. So what I mean by that is if I turn this mix knob to dry, listen to how it sounds. So it's just duplicating that vocal, and we're getting phasing, and it's just not right. So what we want to do is turn it up to 100% wet, and then we're literally just getting the delay. So let's listen to this now. So that's the sound that we're after. Then of course you can dial in the delay as you need it. So you can add more feedback. In this specific situation, I actually don't want it to repeat more than once, so I'm not going to give it any feedback. But of course, this is to taste and what your song needs. And also what's cool about this is once you put the delay on here, you can put more effects on your delay as you want. So, you know, for example, if I wanted to put, you know, a reverb on here, on this delay, I could do that. And,
I fit to jump it too far. For you say me I no tire. I fit to commit to sim for get men job watch you for. I fit to.
So that's just an example of what you can do. So you can get a lot more creative with this technique. So it's really that easy to apply this technique. But again, it just takes a little bit of time. And what I want to do is actually show you guys another way of doing this. So I'm actually going to mute this track, and then we're going to go back to the lead take here. And what you can do is actually automate it. And automation is a quicker way of doing this. I just find that sometimes it's just not as clean when you're trying to dial in the delays in specific pockets. Sometimes it is clean, but sometimes it isn't. But I am going to show you it regardless. So I'm going to pull up this delay here, and then I'm just going to pull up mute. So right now I have my delay send muted, and I'm just going to turn it up here so we can see what we're working with.
I fit to jump it too far. For you say me I no tire. I fit to commit to sim for get men job watch you for.
So one way of doing this is muting this delay here, and then in the same pockets we just unmute it.
I fit to jump it too far.
So for example, we take it and unmute it here.
Too far. I fit to jump it too far. For you say me I no tire.
We could do it here as well.
For you say me I no tire. I fit to.
But you see how it took a new toy, so you still have to dial it in here, and depending on the phrasing, sometimes it's just not very clean when you do it this way. So let's try this again.
For you say me I no tire. I fit to commit.
See how it just kind of enters abruptly? That's the difference between using automation and then duplicating the track and doing it the first way that I showed you. So I feel when you duplicate the track and do it the long way, you can get much cleaner delays that way. But this is another way of doing it, and it's just something really, really handy when you're trying to do delays and get that pocket sound that you're after without having to put the whole delay on the vocal and messing up your vocal. So that's the pocket delay trick. As always, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Peace.